Your baby can feel your movement, and after 16th week, they can hear your voice and hear music. Today, we are doing a feel-good pregnancy yoga class. I always feel way better after doing yoga, but also to connect with your baby. As we go through the stretches, I'm going to give you a couple of cues or things to think about that can help you connect with your baby. You can think about them, or if you wanted to, you can write them down. I am going to also link to a template in the description box below if you wanted to grab it. We'll start by coming to all fours. If your wrists are bothering you, you can also do these down on your elbows. Let's start warming up our spine with some cat and cow, rounding out, arching the other way. You can move with your own breath. Coming back to a neutral spine, we'll do some hip circles. Switch directions. One more here. We'll move into child's pose. You can take your knees quite wide apart to make room for your belly, sitting back towards your heels. We can walk our hands out, really feeling a stretch through our back. If it feels comfortable, you can relax your forehead on the ground. Let's take some deep breaths, especially into our back ribs. Breathing into our back ribs can help make more room for baby. We can walk our hands to one side to stretch through our side body and our ribs. Good. Walk our hands to the other side. Walking your hands back in. We'll walk them in, coming back to all fours, and keeping your core engaged. We'll come up to a kneeling position. Let's take a kneeling lunge here. If your knee is hurting, you can always fold up your mat or put a blanket. You can bring our leg forward, tapping it, and placing your hands on your hips. Let's shift our weight forward. You can think a little bit of tucking your tailbone to get an extra nice stretch through your psoas or your hip flexors here. Let's take one hand on our knee, reach the other hand up, and bending up and over our front leg. Again, stretching through our side body here. While we're stretching, you can think about the different experiences or activities that you want your baby or child to have as they grow up. With an inhale, come back up. Let's shift our weight back and straighten our front leg, and then fold over here, stretching through our hamstrings now. Just for a second here. Coming up. Tap our leg back and switch to the other side. Finding your lunge position here, and when you're comfortable, you can bring your hand up and stretch through your side body. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, coming up, pressing into your front foot, shifting our weight back, We can come back to our knees. We'll come back to all fours, but we're not going to stay here. Let's tuck our toes, pressing into downward dog. If downward dog doesn't feel good, you can always use a chair and make an L shape, and that's a good modification. Don't worry if your heels don't touch the ground here, but they're reaching towards the ground. If it feels good, you can shift your hips back and forth or pedal out your feet. Looking up at your belly, spreading your toes and fingers. Engaging your core, pulling in your baby. Let's shift our weight forward, taking tiny steps all the way to the top of your mat. You can bend your knees, bringing your feet wide apart if that's more comfortable for your belly. And once we're here, placing your hands on your shins, looking up, lengthen your spine. We'll fold forward one more time and bringing your hands out to the side, come up with a lengthened spine. Looking up at your thumbs towards the ceiling and bringing your hands back to heart center. Let's step back and open up to triangle or Trikonasana. So back foot is about a 30-degree angle in. We can open up our arms, reach towards the front, and then let your hand fall in front of your leg. Reach up with the other hand. Feel as if you're between two glass pieces, so you're not tipping too far forward. And while you're here, you can think about the people that you are excited to introduce your baby to. Deep breath. Your legs are strong, toes are spread. One more breath here, come on up. Good. We can widen our stance a little bit and put our back foot perpendicular, bending your front leg, moving into warrior two, opening up through your groin. Your front knee is pressing back behind you. We're going to take a little flow here. We can place our front elbow and move into side angle. We can take our arm and circle it. Come back up through warrior two. You can place your back hand on your belly and tip into peaceful warrior. Stretching up here, making room for your baby under your ribs. Let's do that flow one more time. Coming back to warrior two. Let's come up and we'll turn our feet around to the other side, setting up for triangle. Reaching forward, moving into position. Deep breaths here. Good. On the next inhale, come on up, widening your stance slightly, moving into warrior two, spreading your toes, legs are strong, and we'll move forward into side angle. You can take an arm circle, opening up through your chest. Flowing back through warrior two, peaceful warrior. Breathing into your side and back ribs here. One more time. Now you can think about the places you're excited to take your new baby. Inhale, come up. And we can step to the top of the mat. Let's come into tree pose here. So you can find your balance on one foot, spreading your toes. And you can either leave your toes down here or bring it on your calf or reach down and place it higher on your leg. Bringing your hands together, finding a steady spot to gaze at, probably not me. Raising your hands up. Engaging your core, pulling your baby in. And while you're here, you can think about things you're excited to learn about your baby, maybe what they look like or what their personality will be like, what funny things they'll say. Good. Slowly moving out with control. Let's switch to the other side. One more breath here. And as you exhale, bringing your hands back down, lowering your foot, and we'll get down to the ground whatever way feels safe and comfortable for you. Coming down, and we'll bring both legs out in front of us, flexing your feet, lifting through your lower back. This is great for helping prevent back pain. Hands can be rested gently on the ground, shoulders are relaxed down your back. Feel as if a string is pulling your head up towards the ceiling. Good. Release, shake it out. We'll move into Janu Shirshasana, so you can bring one foot in. We're going to square our hips towards our front leg. Inhale up. Lean forward, and then you can place your hands on your leg wherever it feels comfortable for you. While we're here, we're going to think about something that you want your baby to know about you. Taking one more breath here. Inhale, come up. Let's shift our hips open towards the front, and we can bring our hand up, stretching to the side. Let's stretch the other way now. You can bring your elbow down, stretch this way. Coming up. We can take this foot in now. We'll set up for Janu Shirshasana on the other side. Squaring your hips towards your front leg. Inhale up. Tipping forward at the hip. and releasing forward. You can think about different ways that you'll show your baby love. Beautiful. Coming up, we can shift towards the front. Let's first stretch over our leg that's lengthened out. Breathing into your side and back ribs. Good. Coming up, and now we will stretch this way. Come on up. Let's bring this foot in, and we'll move into butterfly or Baddha Konasana. You can let your knees flop out, sitting tall. And then we will fold forward. Breathing into your back ribs. You can also give yourself a little bit of a foot massage here. Inhale, coming up. We can move into pigeon here, or alternatively you could do a figure 4 stretch. If you're going to do a pigeon, we will come to all fours, tuck your toes into downward dog. We can center one foot, send one leg back, and then swing it through for pigeon. Walking your back leg back, sitting tall, and you can stay here or release forward. And while you're here, you can think about something that you learned or something that's important to you in the world that you want to teach your baby. Maybe something that's different from how you were taught. And when you're ready, you can press up. We'll move to the other side. Deep breaths into your back ribs again. Good. When you're ready, we can come on up. Pressing through downward dog one last time. Coming down to hands and knees. We'll thread the needle. Switching to the other side. Good. Come on up. Let's make our way into bridge pose. Getting safely down on your side to protect your core. Walking in so you can touch your heels. You can press your hands into the ground and pressing in through your feet. Pressing up. If you wanted to, you could clasp your hands underneath you and press your arms into the ground and rolling your shoulders under. Beautiful. Let's untuck our shoulders if they're tucked. Roll down one vertebra at a time. And then we can roll over. If you wanted to grab some pillows for between your knees or under your head, you can. We'll find a comfortable position in Shavasana here. You're going to place your hand on your belly, connect with your baby. Send your baby some love. Letting go of your breath, just watching it be soft. You can scan your whole body, relaxing all of your muscles, especially the muscles of your face and your jaw, your pelvic floor, your feet. You can think about your hopes and dreams for your baby, what you want their life to look like, how you want them to feel growing up. We can circle our ankles and wrists, stretch them in opposite direction, and carefully press up to a seated position. Namaste to you and namaste to the babies. I will read the pregnancy yoga card for the day, which is: the moment a fetus is created, a mother is created also. Thank you so much for joining me for that pregnancy yoga class. I hope that you're feeling good and connected to your baby. I would love to know what you thought of that style of yoga class. Remember, I'm also going to link in the description box below to the prompts, and there's a few extra that we didn't include in the class if you wanted to grab that as well. I will keep making pregnancy yoga and workouts every week. If you like videos like these, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. And to support me, share this with another pregnancy friend or pregnancy community that you think would enjoy it. I also have lots of free resources for pregnant moms I will link to in the description box below. A pregnancy meal plan that I put together as a registered dietitian, a pregnancy pelvic floor guide on how to prepare your pelvic floor for birth and the fastest recovery after, as well as a complete ebook on how to reduce and cope with pain during labor. Thank you so much for joining me again. You did amazing, and I hope to see you next time.